What is up, guys? I'm Glyphix, and I just got the Galaxy Note 9. So, obviously, I've had it, well, it was released on Friday, the 25th? No, 24th. And I've had 48 hours, a little more, to play with it. So, this is very much, initial thoughts, initial reactions. So, this video is kind of going to be split into three parts. First of all, the look of the phone, how it feels, how it handles in the hand, how it feels against the ear, even. Second part will be kind of the performance, how it's been shaping up, how well it's been, handling everything I've been throwing at it, which is quite a bit. And finally, just kind of my overall sort of thoughts, what I'm thinking of the phone so far. Spoilers for that part, it's awesome. So, first up, the design of this thing is absolutely impeccable. I mean, the weight of it is really solid, but without feeling, too heavy. It doesn't feel like a brick in your hand. That was one of the main things I was worried about, was the size of this thing, because it is quite sizable. And if I get I've got an iPhone 8 here to kind of compare, but you can see it basically dwarfs the iPhone 8, which, at first I thought was going to be an issue, but at the end of the day, the reason I bought this phone is because I wanted some extra screen space. And for the amount of extra space you get, this is, it feels more compact than it should be. I'm coming from a Galaxy S8, which is also a great phone, to be honest, but yeah, I just wanted the extra screen space, and yeah, I've got to say I'm really kind of impressed with everything I've seen so far. It feels like this giant screen, but feels very, very thin, so you can kind of see the thickness of it there. But partly because of the curved edges of this thing, it just feels smaller than it looks, if that kind of makes sense. I've got all this screen real estate, and yet relatively okay to handle. I've had no problems using it in one-handed. I tend to use, this is Gboard, Google's keyboard. I tend to use the kind of the side keyboard for that. It's kind of built into Samsung's own keyboard as well, if you prefer that. Finally, about just the design of the thing, I went for the black, which also comes with the black S Pen, which I thought was pretty slick. For a minute, I was tempted to switch and get the blue, because I like the yellow S Pen, but this is actually pretty good. I've got such bad handwriting. So one of the key things as well is the pen, obviously, that you get with this, and I got to say the design on that is really, really nice. Like as you slide it in, it kind of magnets itself when it gets to here and gives you a little throb in the with the vibration, and then it kind of just clicks in really satisfyingly. It feels really, really nice to come out as well. Just overall works so well. It's a really slick item, and I love the screen off memo, which I'll show you here. So screen is off, pull out the pen, and boom, start writing really badly. That's great. And then you can kind of just click home, and it'll actually save whatever note you've just made. So onto performance. I have been literally throwing things at this phone. I've been playing a lot of games, switching between apps a lot. Yesterday was the Logan Paul KSI fight, and I was watching that on YouTube whilst I had a Notes app open and WhatsApp, and I was switching between them all. I kind of was using like the hover over thing like this, and it was not for a second slowing down. The other thing I've noticed is that whenever you're, if you're playing a game or, if you're playing a game, something like that, okay, I'm not on the internet, this is why it's not loading, but, you're playing a game, switching around using 3, 4, 5 different apps, you can come back and it's going to pick up like where you left off. The RAM, because the size of the RAM on this phone is so big that it can just keep everything held there. It doesn't need to close any apps in the background, which you might think will be bad for battery life, but is absolutely not. That's one of the big things about this phone, is that it's got that 4,000 milliamp hour battery in here, and it actually does so well. So the kind of the first full day that I had it, I was sat playing Hearthstone on here, literally 4.5 hours. I was using playing other games as well. Obviously downloading loads of apps, literally on it all day. You know what it's like when you get a brand new phone. And got full 19 hours, 19 plus. I think it was down to about 10% after 19 hours. And that is absolutely insane performance. Like, that is so good. I've not had that on a phone before. Any kind of gaming just rinses phones instantly, you know, as to it's to be expected. The other thing is that performance for gaming and, you know, intensive apps has been absolutely amazing as well. Doesn't hitch. You can flick between open apps. Overall, it's just excellent. All right, lastly, my kind of overall thoughts. I love this phone. If you are okay with a bigger phone, or if you want a bigger phone, you want more screen, then this is the phone that you should get. Every other one, you know, whether it's the iPhone Plus, whether it's I can never say that, Huawei's, whatever, this is the one you want so long as you can afford it. Now, what I did was I got it on the payment plan, the Samsung Upgrade program. So I traded in my S8, gave me £300 off, and now I pay $22 a month, and I can upgrade this thing after 1 year of having it, which is an awesome deal, actually. I mean, obviously, you've got to pay for your line rental and all that stuff on top, but overall, I think that's a really good deal if obviously you're already in the Samsung family and you want to stay there. Other things to mention, I'm currently running a skin on here, which is why it looks so damn good. This is Microsoft Launcher, which I really strongly recommend. One of the things I love to do with this is just have the icons on there like that. No bar at the top. Damn, looks good. Oh man. Really good launcher, actually. Really makes the phone, classes the thing up, you know. Overall, yeah, I absolutely recommend this thing. Really nice. Really impressed. Samsung absolutely hit it out of the park again. And I'll be doing a more in-depth review in about 2 months, usually my usual style, but come back to you guys with my really in-depth kind of analysis after I've had it a fair while. So definitely subscribe to see that in the future. Otherwise, leave a comment. I'm really curious to see what other people are thinking about it, whether anyone else has picked up this thing. I didn't even mention the camera, which is absolutely amazing, by the way. But yeah, anyway, these are my initial thoughts. Thank you very much for watching. All right, see ya.
Bye.